Canes fans are energized. Game 6 is on tap, and they're in a must-win situation against the Capitals.
For the first time in franchise history, the Panthers are crossing the pond to battle Tampa Bay in London. While the win gives them momentum as they head back to Raleigh for Game 3, they might be without their star goalie.
Garrison Brooks isn't only back and healthy, he was goofing around at practice today and totally in his element. The entire stadium went kind of crazy in that moment, but it got scary when Svechnikov went to the ground. We didn't know if he was going to get up. He ended up skating off the ice, but that really shifted the momentum in the game.
Duke's season ended in the Elite Eight, but Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett are still making history.
I also want to point out they're, 3 for 25 on the power play right now, 0 for 2 tonight.
It's been putrid.
What's going on?
It's been terrible.
Yeah,
but they're still winning.
We all know Cam is known for his style, but he has a new word for it, drip. And he thinks his good friend who plays for the opposing team, the Steelers tonight, Antonio Brown, has the drip too. But let me explain this. As golfers prepare for the Stitch Intercollegiate Tournament at McGregor Downs, the 18th hole was like no other they've ever faced.
Well, I knew I was probably going to lose.
When they see him hit the ball, they're like, wow.
The golfers had to tee off against 7-year-old golf prodigy Tommy Morrissey.
Well, I actually saw him on the range. I got to see him hit a few on the range. I was pretty intimidated. He's a young superstar.
At about 14 months old, he started playing golf. He became obsessed with it.
The 4'3" golf phenom is the 7th best junior golfer in the world and the 2nd best in Florida.
Hit a couple shots, none of them got to the green, so he hit it up there to about 10 feet.
Besides facing one of the top up-and-coming golfers, they had to do it with one arm. Why? Because Tommy only has one arm.
You know, we all hope for the perfect child. What we didn't realize at the time was that him being born with one arm was going to be our greatest blessing.
His family calls it Nemo, like the fictional fish in the movie Finding Nemo.
Because Nemo was born with a short fin in the movie.
His mother, Marcia, was born and raised in Wilson. Marcia and her husband, Joe, have made it their mission to help children like Tommy through the Unlimited Foundation.
Many times the limbs are amputated because of a lack of medical resources or financial resources.
Unlimited has raised over $150,000 in 2 years.
Tommy's foundation raises money to be able to provide the financial resources needed for a family to save their children's limbs from amputation.
While Tommy and his family fight to help other children like him, the 7-year-old still has some big plans of his own.
I want to go to the Masters and try and beat a lot of people so I could get a green jacket and a trophy.
Zion is a once-in-a-generation talent to come through Duke.
Zion Williamson has captivated America with his must-see dunks, shoe controversy.
There are ways to talk about this without going so overboard about, well, now he's got to shut it down.
And ability to endlessly entertain a crowd. But before he was a Duke Blue Devil, he was just a kid from South Carolina.
Zion Williamson.
Coach Lee Sarter first set his eyes on Zion when he was in 5th grade.
Well, I knew he was special when I first saw him, but again, I always thought that he was a very good perimeter player, very good point guard.
As Zion got older, his family decided to move him from Florence to Spartanburg Day School to be coached by Sarter.
They entrusted me to coach Zion for 4 years, and I feel honored and blessed, truly blessed and favored by God to have that opportunity.
Between his 8th and 9th grade year is when Sarter asked him if he could dunk.
And he said, yeah, I think I can. And I said, okay, next time we do this drill, I want you to dunk. And he did. And I said, well, from now on, you need to be dunking whenever we're doing drills so it could become muscle memory and it could be a habit.
That muscle memory turned him into a freight train on game day.
Some of the dunks he does shocks your soul because it's something you never seen before.
By Zion's 10th grade year, most colleges were calling. Coach K and his entire staff flew in to watch him play.
By the presence of his whole staff, that you are the most important person that we're recruiting.
Sarter remembered one conversation that might have sealed the deal.
I remember asking him, take away basketball, what degree do you want on your wall? And he said with the biggest smile, a Duke degree.
I will be joining the Brotherhood of Duke University.
It's what Zion does when he's off the court that makes him even more authentic. During the summer, Zion didn't have to take part in his high school's team camps due to a busy AAU basketball schedule, but he would still show up.
I called a timeout just to kind of talk with the kids, and I can remember a hand giving kids water. And then I recall Zion saying, "Do anybody else need any water?"
When Zion won the National Player of the Year award, he didn't race to the stage to receive his trophy.
The first person he came to was me, and he hugged me and he said, "Thank you, Coach." Then he went to the assistant coaches and he thanked them. Then he went to all of his teammates and he thanked them. Look, I think about his heart, and his heart can lift 1,000 pounds.
For a guy who seemingly has it all, he's the first to acknowledge those who helped him along the way.
He elevated everybody around him. He elevated his school. He made his teammates better. He made me a better coach. Because of Zion, a lot of things were better. And he's doing the same thing at Duke, which is the most amazing thing.
Mary Dunleavy, WRAL Sports, Spartanburg, South Carolina.